course, I had to hurry, but as I want to explain, so you know, before if I rushed, I would have missed out on, of course, as it was and how it is. Each area and each route has grasslands, how the grass area is, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'll explain more about the terrains and all that stuff, and the routes and all that, but how it is there's usually Pokemon that inspect and investigate for that route in the beginning. When they see new intruders or new Pokemon, and they investigate, and they're brave enough to actually step forward and you know investigate if you want to fight or if you want to you know capture. So in this instance, what was happening before when I was walking in the route, of course I didn't get disturbed, so I was walking through the route for a while without being bothered. I ended up walking through, and of course along the way, like a decent amount of the route along the way, I'm about to walk up and walk to the sign and read it about the route, and the female Rattata sees me and investigates, okay? Of course, she came up, and the battle ended up happening that way. And as it is, and how it should be, now we're on the route, so of course, it's way more quiet, You don't really see anybody because we're out in the wild. But, as it is, it's a grass area, okay? As you can see in the background. I just want to make sure it clears his throat. But, in that instance, I also want developers to know that Rattata is fast and quick and agile, kind of. So, they're good to start with battling first, to learn about, learning battle. So it's a lucky process of the area where we're starting at, including explaining the game. This is good too, you know what I mean? It's a developer explanation section. But of course, they just need to develop and show that Rattata is quick. Moves around too, doesn't just stay still at the times. It sits down. Stays still and it does this little whiskers thing, like rodents do, but it also zips around a little bit, and it just stands in another area, and then it just, it helps you get your aim in, your lock in. So it'd be kind of cool in the battle process if it does that, with Rattatas and all that stuff. So, also, now I want to get to the concept of this in the second battle. What ends up happening, Blast takes down that first female Rattata, of course. She goes down, she runs away. Okay, now when they faint, which is the interesting part, now which should have been the concept I actually explained with Taz and Squirtle, but of course, like I said, it's a four-sided future tense explanation. They end up doing the swirly eyes if you want to, if they want to do it like that, again, that's fine. They ended up going down, and then, give them, 5 seconds, really 10 for real. It's like a brink of 7 to 8 seconds, and then they gain consciousness, and they back to normal of, stableness, but they're not in the peak of battling. They don't have PP, they don't have power point, they don't have power to attack, but they're stable enough to be in their form and be themselves. So in this instance, of course, like I want to explain and say, this male sees her go down. Of course, that's our partner, and he sees her, and of course he has guts, but we don't know this. So he runs up, and of course he sees Blast, and he tests him. So of course, as it is, we go to try to battle, and we do battle, and of course the sequence of moves end up happening like that. Of course, now we have him exhausted, so hopefully now I can continue on. And down he went. And of course, we don't know about this yet, but you know, he gains to level 7. But in this instance, you know, he knocks him down. Of course, you know, I get excited, like, good job, man, good job, Blast, awesome. And he gets excited. He looks back at me and he gets excited. So openly, he looks at me and he trusts me in that instance. And of course, when he looks at me, the Rattata runs away. Now, in this instance, that Rattata runs away. If it's movie sectional and experience, some of the Pokemon in the background now are Rattatas, you know? Because once and now we know about Rattata. But what ends up happening also is he learns Ember. So secretly, in the instance, he says his name, you know what I mean, Char, and then he just, you know what I mean, little fireballs come out, and I'm like, whoa, it's kind of cool, blah, blah, blah. And of course, he is practically exhausted, so I end up, you know, leaving that sectional, and I come back and I start going back. Now, I was supposed to go around and go down. I wasn't supposed to do that, so please accept that and accept that I got that for. Okay. Now, we're almost there, and then another Rattata pops up. Now, this is purposeful and all that also. So, of course, I tell him to do growl. Because he's pretty exhausted, of course, and all that. Now, Rattata does tail whip and hits him. Of course, it does a little bit of the recall and all that, too. So it hits him and his defense is down and all that. Now, in this instance, out of nowhere, it triggers his ability and all that. But then, I look at him, and while Blaze is getting infected, like, I mean, the Blaze ability is kicked in, as it is his ability here. So, as you've seen, there was 2 female Rattatas and a male Rattata in that beginning process that's seen me. And Blast. That is vitally important. Like I said, it links in with everything. So of course, in this cool instance, I come through and I tell the professor, Charmander learned a new thing, blah blah blah, and all that stuff, which is kind of cool and neat. I mean, assistants are probably pretty kind of cool. You know, they're kind of happy when I come in the intro. They're like, "Oh, Stefan, nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. How about that battle?" You know what I mean, you see some of the like occasional female assistants. She's like, "How about that battle with Taz, eh?" No, all that. But I ask him, I explain to him about it. Of course, he says, "Pull out your Pokeball." He scans the Pokeball and he's like, "Oh." It's like, this is your, like, congratulations, you know, Blast knows you a new trusted move, you know, like a trusted move. He's like, yeah, your starter Pokemon will learn a trusted move whenever when your starter Pokemon trusts you enough. Of course, trusted move. And then, of course, that's like, in musical wise, that's a dangerous foul. But trust and move. Let me just stop real quick. You know, he apparently, for him as Charmander, as we know and learn and find out from the professor talking and all that stuff, he learns Ember. So find out about Ember, and he's like, congratulations on making him tougher. He's like, could you do me a favor? Could you go to the next town? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you know about the next town? He's like, I'm like, is it Viridian City? Of course. He's like, yeah, how do you know about that? And then he's like, how do you know about that? And I'm like, I seen it on the sign along the route. When I got into a battle with a purple mouse-looking type Pokemon. And he was like, that's Rattata. And he's like, that's interesting. Like, they're one of the ones that